I never used to close my curtains. I liked waking up to natural light. My apartment was on the second floor, facing a quiet suburban street. Just stillness. That's why I noticed him immediately. The first night, I thought it was a trick of the light. I woke up around 2:30 a.m. For no reason in particular. My room was dim, lit faintly by the street lamp, and that's when I saw a shape near the tree across the street. A person. Standing still, probably just someone walking home, Primera told myself. But something about the posture felt wrong. He wasn't walking. He wasn't looking at his phone. He was just standing there, facing my building. I told myself I was being paranoid. From that distance, there was no way he could even see me clearly. The next night, I closed my curtains. Not fully, just enough to block most of the view. But around the same time, 2:30 a.m., I woke up, and this time I felt something before I saw it. That sensation. You know the one. The feeling that someone is watching you. I slowly reached out and pulled the curtain back, just a few inches. My stomach dropped. He was closer. Not by much, but closer. No longer standing by the tree. Now he was on the sidewalk directly across from my building. Still facing up. Still perfectly still. I couldn't see his face clearly, but I could tell he wasn't looking anywhere else, just my window. My heart began pounding so loudly I was afraid he might somehow hear it. I shut the curtain immediately, locked my bedroom door, and lay awake until morning. The third night, I decided I needed proof. Maybe if I recorded him, I'd feel less crazy. I set my phone on the windowsill and started recording through a small gap in the curtain. At 2:28 a.m., nothing. At 2:29 a.m., empty street. At exactly 2:30, Amy appeared, not walking into frame. Not approaching from the side, just there. Same posture. Same stillness. I zoomed in slightly. That's when I noticed something that made my skin crawl. He wasn't blinking. At least, not once in the 3 minutes I recorded, and his head was tilted slightly upward. At an unnatural angle, too far back. Like his neck didn't bend the way it should. I stopped recording. I didn't sleep at all that night. The next day, I called the police. They took it seriously at first. A patrol car drove by my house that night around 2:15 a.m. I stayed awake, watching from behind the curtain. 2:30 a.m. Nothing. The street was empty. The officer drove off after 15 minutes. I felt stupid. Embarrassed. Maybe it really was my imagination. Until the fourth night. 2:30 a.m. He was back, but this time he was standing on my lawn, right below my window. I didn't even remember falling asleep. I just remember opening my eyes and seeing him closer than ever before. So close, I could finally see his face, except it wasn't normal. His skin looked pale. Too pale, almost gray under the streetlight. His eyes were wide open, unnaturally wide, and his mouth. His mouth was slightly open, like he was breathing heavily, but his chest wasn't moving. I couldn't hear anything. No footsteps, no rustling grass, nothing. He just stood there, staring at me. I grabbed my phone to call 911, and that's when something changed. He smiled. Not a slow, human smile, but a sudden, stretched expression. Too wide. Too forced, like he was trying to imitate one. My hand started shaking so badly, I almost dropped my phone. And then he stepped forward. Not toward my door, not toward the house, but directly beneath my window. So close, I could no longer see his full body, just the top of his head at the edge of the frame. My breathing became shallow. I was on the second floor. There was no balcony, no ladder. Then I heard it. A soft tapping. On the glass, 3 slow taps. I froze. Another 3 taps. Deliberate, measured. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. My entire body felt locked in place. The tapping stopped, and then his voice came. Soft, hoarse, almost curious. "I know you're awake." The words barely rose above a whisper, but they were clear. I finally forced myself to scream. Lights turned on in nearby houses. Car alarms started blaring. When I looked back, he was gone. Completely gone. I didn't stay there after that. I packed a bag and went to stay with my sister across town. She tried to rationalize it. "Probably just some creep," she said. "Call the police again." I did. They searched the area. No reports of suspicious activity. No footprints under my window. No evidence. It was like he didn't exist, but I knew he did. Because every night at 2:30 a.m. I would wake up, even at my sister's house. Even miles away. My eyes would snap open, my heart racing. And I would feel it. That same sensation, being watched. The first night at her house, I ignored it. The second night, I checked. Her house had a large backyard. Fenced, dark, empty. But near the back fence a shape. Standing still, facing the house. Facing the second floor guest room. Facing me. My blood ran cold. It was him. Same posture. Same stillness. Same tilted head. He wasn't attached to the house. He was attached to me. I didn't sleep after that. I sat against the wall until morning. At 6 a.m., he was gone. No footprints. No broken fence. Nothing. The third night at her house was worse, because he didn't stay outside. 2:30 a.m. I woke up. No shape in the yard. Relief washed over me for half a second. Until I heard it. A slow creak. From downstairs. My sister's bedroom door opening. Then footsteps. Heavy. Measured. Not rushing. Not sneaking. Just walking up the stairs. One step at a time. My heart felt like it was going to explode. I locked the guest room door. The footsteps continued, stopping right outside. Silence. On the door. I couldn't be. His voice came again. Come. Almost gentle. I found you. The doorknob began to turn. Slowly. Deliberately. The lock rattled but held. For now, I screamed for my sister. The footsteps stopped. Everything went silent. When we opened the door together seconds later, no one was there. No broken locks. No open windows. Nothing. But something was different. On the inside of the door, 3 faint scratch marks. Perfectly straight. About 6 feet from the ground. Too high for a normal person. We moved again. Another city. Another state. It doesn't matter. Because every night to 30 a.m., my eyes open. And even if I don't look, even if I keep the curtains closed, even if I hide under the blankets, I know he's there. Standing outside. Watching. Waiting. Getting closer. Because last night, for the first time, the tapping didn't come from the window. It came from the wall beside my bed. 3 slow taps. From inside the room.